in your conversations with our clients or our prospects, what are you hearing and seeing that most concerns them from an AI perspective?
I think it runs the gamut. So we are seeing employers and carriers have contractual concerns. What does it mean from a regulatory perspective in a highly regulated industry, right? The insurance industry. So how do we ensure that, the contract language is appropriate, the security, all the information security, all of those pieces and components, I think is one end of the spectrum. And then all the way to how is this going to impact my employee on a day-to-day basis? So I think it's, if you go back, I'm going to get kind of insurance nerdy here. If you go back to your Department of Insurance exams, and I think one of the first questions, and why this is stuck in my head from 1995, I have no idea, but what is insurance? And it's risk mitigation, right? And so I think if we think about that, this is a very, risk adverse sort of industry. So, as we lean into this and think about this, and I know Barry is going to talk about this a little bit in the next section, is how do we ensure that we're hitting all of the regulatory components that Trish talked about, along with things that haven't caught up to what's happening with AI, right? So, Trish mentioned legislatively or regulatory decisions haven't been made. There's not commonality. And so if you've got a disparate organization like many of our insurance carrier customers or employer market customers, where you have employees that are all over, how are you going to handle that if it becomes a patchwork of laws across all of the states? So that's one concern and complexity that we're hearing, and I'll leave that for Trish to figure out and talk with our clients about. But then the other piece is the human side, right? And so again, going back to that nerdy insurance definition of mitigating risk, it's providing, the insurance carriers are providing financial protection to employees, members, their families, their children, parents, spouses, what have you. And so from an employer perspective, and that's some of our customers, but it's also our insurance carrier customers, they're really looking at it and how am I going to be sure that by introducing this technology, nothing bad is going to happen to my employees, right? So whether it's how decisions are being made, how, having to only have your sole option be to talk to, some sort of agent, those are the things that are kind of coming top of mind. Is it fair? Are fair processes in place? Is the AI treating, people fairly? Do we have the bias, piece handled and taken care of? So those are primarily the things that, we're hearing. A lot of risk or a lot of concern around not using AI to make the actual decisions, but as Barry was talking about, using AI to supplement the processes. And I think that if our customers kind of keep the sort of overreaching arch of their, mission and what have you in mind, it's risk mitigation, and it is taking care of employees and, policyholders, insureds, whomever in those moments that matter. And so I think if those lenses are used in applying AI to your processes and the main priority isn't operational efficiencies or cost reductions or things like that, I believe those things will come naturally as a result of using AI to improve processes and improve the industry and the complexity of the industry.